Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Irresistible and I am a manifestation and soul realignment coach. My channel is geared towards helping you become your highest potential so that you can create and live the extraordinary life that is your birthright. In today's video, I'll be talking about how to release stubborn beliefs. But before we get started, just a quick reminder that I offer both email and video coaching. So if you need help in manifesting any of your desires, you can definitely check out my coaching options in the description below. And of course, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon in order to receive a notification anytime I upload a new video. So let's get started. This video is in response to a request by one of my lovely subscribers asking about how to release stubborn beliefs. The first thing I want you to do is change what you're saying. Don't call them stubborn beliefs, because anything you assume has to manifest, and you labeling them as stubborn is causing that to perpetuate in your reality. You're finding it hard to let them go. You can't bring yourself to assume otherwise. So that's the first thing. Now, I know that you're communicating to me the issue, but I would tell you to start first with not saying they are stubborn. They're easy. They're so easy to release. I always release all my limiting assumptions. It's easy for me to manifest everything that I want. Which brings me to the second thing. Try not to call them beliefs, because when you're saying beliefs, it's something that's a part of your whole belief system that almost feels impossible to change. Call them assumptions. They are assumptions. Now, even going into beliefs, the definition of what a belief is, it's an opinion. It's not a fact. So it's you are choosing to have this opinion about yourself, about other people, about circumstances in general. They are all opinions that you have had. Now you think they are fact because your physical reality is mirroring them back to you, right? And so you're saying, well, it's fact. This is what's happening. This is what they're saying to me. This is what's showing up in my reality. Money is hard to make, so I barely have money. Or it's hard to find a partner who wants to commit. You say, my reality is showing that to me. Yes, your reality is showing you what you are assuming. It's your opinion. And so it's mirroring it back to you. So you go back and you say, well, yes, this reality is old news. It's reflecting what I have chosen to assume in the past. And today I'm choosing to assume something different. Notice I'm not saying believe something different, because it's easier to say I'm changing my opinion about this or I'm assuming something different. It's easier than saying I'm changing a belief, because then automatically you're thinking, well, I have to dig into those belief systems and do hypnosis, hypnotherapy, regression to dig those beliefs out. It almost seems like they're very hard to bring out. Actually, it's very easy to bring them out. You look at your physical reality and that's a reflection of all your assumptions. There's no need to dig in. Now, of course, sometimes I do tell people to try to bring out their subconscious assumptions. Your subconscious assumptions are not always things you consciously think at conscious level. They are things that you are assuming subconsciously. That's why you can't just say, well, I didn't think about this, how did I manifest it? Yes, you have a subconscious assumption that's XYZ is what happens, or you have an assumption about your self-concept that's now manifesting in your physical reality. Yes, so there are subconscious things happening that are driving your physical reality. They're not all conscious, but it does not mean that it's hard to bring out. You don't actually need to dig everything out. And I spoke about this in one of my videos last week. I will link it above. It says, don't keep asking why I manifested what I manifested. Actually, you don't need to know why. in every circumstance, unless it is something that keeps happening again and again. And I do sometimes encourage you to bring it out one time, like do some kind of a purge. I encourage you to do that. You don't have to, but bring it all out so that you just bring them to your conscious awareness and release them. But it does not mean you have to do it all the time. Like, don't do that for every little manifestation you experience. It's irrelevant. Get on with it, move on, because I have personally been guilty of doing that, and it's exhausting. So you don't need to know why in every case. You don't need to dig up everything. Just, maybe do it one time in relation to, let's say, love. What are my core beliefs or assumptions about love? And let me just bring those to my conscious awareness, and then start from there. Ultimately, you don't even have to do that. I had this one with one of my clients. I was trying to ask her, well, why do you think you manifested this? She's like, I don't know, blah, blah. I told her, you know what, doesn't matter, just focus on what you want. And she did, and she revised it very quickly. So here, try not to overly focus, though I do talk about your inner assumptions being important. Try not to dwell there. Like, you do that exercise once. I do it with my clients when they first sign out. I tell them, what are your assumptions? Tell me what they are, so that I create the affirmations for them. But you don't need to stay there. Like, don't stay in that perpetual state of wondering what other beliefs are there that are creating your reality. There's no other beliefs. Just say, today I want this, period. Let it go. Now, going into the next one, don't fight your beliefs or your assumptions. Let's put it that way. Like, you want to try to flip them, but don't have this back and forth conversation where you're trying to convince your logical mind that this is not the truth. Because your physical mind or your logical mind or your ego mind only has the past or the experiences of other people in your life as a reference point. It does not have that new thing or the new assumption evidenced in its life, in your life, basically. So avoid trying to fight it. That's why I say you don't need to believe your affirmations. As you're redirecting your thoughts, as you're repeating affirmations, you don't need to believe them, because with time they're gonna become a belief, because through repetition. And then your physical reality will also mirror these. So your past is not your reference point, unless you do have experiences that you can focus on and say, well, in this situation I was able to get that. You start to get that, right? If you don't have that, there's no point arguing with your physical mind. Like, don't try to fight your assumptions. Don't try to release them from where you are. Just affirm. Just keep affirming. Now, there is one thing I want to tell you. If you bring an assumption into your conscious awareness, a limiting assumption, an opinion into your conscious awareness, you should be able to release it. If you're not able to release it, it's not the core belief. It's not the core assumption. That assumption, this one that you brought to your conscious awareness, is there to support another one, right? And I did this exercise with one of my clients. And then at some point, we uncovered what those assumptions were. And he realized that he did have some core assumptions that were there as the foundation. And there were multiple other assumptions supporting that core assumption. Now, do you need to do that? It can be super helpful when it's a pattern. And it was a pattern for him. But you don't need to keep doing that. You do it one time. I can help you do that in one go for things that you keep repeating in your reality, if that is something you keep repeating. But don't create that. Don't start perpetuating circumstances because you believe there's something there that needs to be released. You see, your mind is very good at arguing for its limitations, although that's probably an assumption. But you want to let go of this need to feel that there's still something there that I have not uncovered, and I need to know what that is in order to manifest. No, focus on what you want. Just remain mindful to not overcomplicate matters. Unless it is a pattern and it's something you've been repeating, just let it go. You don't need to know what it is. Just focus on what you want. There's something that is much lighter about just redirecting and saying, no, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to focus on. The past is in the past, and I'm letting that go. The final thing I want you to realize is, don't mistake values for beliefs. I have certain values that are important to me, and I don't want to let those go. These are values. These are preferences. These are things I value in my life. I have a preference that things happen in a certain way. That's not a belief. That is a preference. So don't think that you need to let go of your values in order to get what you want. You're getting rid of your opinions of yourself, of other people, and of circumstances in general. That's what you're doing. You're not getting rid of your core values, where I need to, let's say, do things with integrity. No one's asking you to let go of things that are important for you in your life. That's a preference. Just wanted to put that out there just in case there is any confusion. So I spoke a lot. Let me recap. There is no such thing as a stubborn belief. Start out by not affirming and saying that I have some stubborn beliefs. Let that go. The second thing, beliefs are just opinions. They're not difficult to release. They are just opinions. Opinions you have about yourself, about other people, and about circumstances in general. They're assumptions. They're not facts. So don't call them beliefs. When you call them assumptions and opinions, it's easier to let them go. Third, you may think they are a fact, not an opinion, because your physical reality is reflecting them back to you. Your physical reality is a byproduct of that opinion. Change the opinion, change the assumption, your reality has to change. That's the only reason you think it's fact. It was always the opinion or the assumption that came first. Next, you don't need to dig up so many of your beliefs. You can start from now. Actually, if you just stop thinking about that belief and focus on what you want, you can manifest whatever you want. Don't hold on and overanalyze. Try not to do that. Do it for patterns. If there are things where you keep repeating again and again, and you're like, well, why am I repeating that? And you find it hard to affirm, yeah, you may need to release that core assumption. But don't think that that is needed for you to manifest. Don't fight your beliefs. Don't fight your assumptions. Sometimes you can't release them because your mind has that as the reference point. You haven't experienced otherwise. So that's where I say just affirm or focus on what you want. Don't entertain those opposing thoughts. Don't entertain those limiting assumptions. Let them go and focus on what you want, because your past is your reference point. So there's no point in arguing with your physical mind around that. Lastly, your core values are not relating to your beliefs. Your values are your assumptions. My cat is biting my hand. I'm sorry. She's biting my hand, so I'm reacting. So try to remind yourself that my preferences are not my beliefs. My preferences are things I want. It's the way I want to show up in life. It's the way I want to experience life. They are my preferences. I hope you liked this video. If you did, then please like, comment, and share, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.